Alright, in this video, I'm going to be sharing my new 5-step process that I go through every time I tweak something and none of my tricks and little exercises are working. Hey, I'm Meg and I'm documenting my journey to recovery from chronic pain in my spine and in my hips. Just yesterday had sort of a breakdown and breakthrough. So sometimes on your recovery journey, you'll find that it's going to be up and down. When that happens, when you tweak something, you re-injure something, you like go, okay, I know how to do this. I know how to fix it. I'm going to grab my lacrosse ball and just smash it. Or I'll grab my foam roller and just roll it out. Or I'll do my usual, cool stretches and stuff like that. You have a bag of tricks that you have accumulated on your journey to getting better in recovery, but for some reason this time it's not working. That's what I went through yesterday and it was very debilitating. I was like, dude, I'm doing all my tricks. It still freaking hurts. Here's my 5-step process, okay? Number 1, vent your anger and your depression, your sadness in a safe way. I definitely didn't do that at first. I think I do have anger issues. And I think it's really great if you can have your loved ones or the people around you understand what that is and what that means. And sometimes they can't do anything for you. They can just give you a hug while you cry. Or they can do things like for you massage or something and be a sport and let them in. Try not to be too mad at the world when you're in pain because it's common to do that. So try to vent your anger, your depression, your sadness, your frustration in a safe way. Number 2 is to just run through the list. Run through the list of things that could have gone wrong. What were you doing differently this time? Were you trying to do more kicks than you were supposed to? Were you trying to do more than you were ready for? Did you know that you weren't supposed to go to that basketball game with friends and you just went hard because you just felt like you were in high school again? Try to narrow down the things of what you actually did. That way you can more or less pinpoint what types of exercises, stretches, and releases that you need to focus on and just do those. Because if you do all the things, you're not really addressing the problem. So the more focus that you can get to see exactly what the root of the problem is, like for me example, I did like 50 kicks, not that much, right? But it is a lot for somebody who hasn't kicked in years. I also felt the soreness, but I kept going. Number 3, try not to take a painkiller. What painkillers do is that they numb the pain, right? So if you numb the pain, and if you can help it, like you're not, in dire circumstances where it's like, hey, it's go time, it's, say I'm like a wedding photographer and I need to go shoot a wedding right now. I'm at home, I'm working from home, so I have all the luxury in the world to go and lie down and stretch and do whatever I want. So if you can help it, like, try not to take a painkiller because they numb the pain, which means that you kind of erase the breadcrumbs to find out what the root cause of the problem is. And then when the effects of that painkiller wear off, now you're still in pain. So you could have used that time to stretch, to figure out what's going on exactly. Is it your hip flexor? Is it your piriformis? What is that? Piriformis? Is it your sciatica? What's the difference between those two? Is it your hamstrings? Is it the way that you're sitting at your desk? All that stuff. So if you erase the pain, you're going to erase the clues at which to find out what the mystery is. Number 4, if you can't really, if you don't know your body very well, I would recommend going on Google and figuring out, my pain was in my left butt cheek, right? But pretty localized. I could almost pinpoint it if I could see it on a map or something, right? So what I did is I Googled butt muscles or something like that, butt muscle anatomy, and then I was able to see, where the gluteus medius is, where the piriformis is, where the gluteus maximus is, where the hamstrings are and how they separate and the different strands of them. And I could see and really localize where my pain was exactly, because it sucks when you go and tell somebody, hey, my butt hurts, and they're like, where? For you to figure out and build more awareness and more knowledge about your own body and how it hurts and how it works, is going to be a lot more helpful. And then number 5, which is something that I was really unsure about, because this happens to me often, where I'll have a tweak in my body that I can't seem to fix. And so I'd be like, well, what the heck? And that's when I get really frustrated and I start to break down. I get almost like in a really depressed state. I think what's really important in those instances is to realize, hey, I think your body's just inflamed. So no amount of tricks in the bag can actually help release or relieve that pain right now, because it's inflamed. It's beyond, it's just red, it's angry, it needs to calm down. In some cases you would have to take a painkiller. Again, I'm not a doctor, right? This is my experience and this is how I'm documenting how I'm getting better, and so please just take that into account. At that point you just need to rest, which means ice. Inflamed tissue often means ice. I would often go to the spa or take a really, really hot shower, but it's not really addressing the problem, which is that the tissue, or even the nerves, are just super, super inflamed right now and they need to calm down. So know that you just need to put some ice on it. It was confirmed by my coach, 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off, 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off. Do a couple rounds of that, just rest, don't do anything, chill out, play some video games. And mentally know that you've done all the things possible that you could do. Just chill out, and then the following day, do your normal stretches, keep moving, keep the blood flowing, have a positive attitude about your recovery. I promise that if you have that kind of attitude and you just rest and you keep doing your stretches and you've figured out where the problem is actually coming from, you'll probably have given yourself enough knowledge and enough tools to get back to being more or less on the pain-free side. And hang in there, because it sucks. But every time you have I feel like every time you have a breakdown, which is like, dude, nothing's working, you're also on the verge of having a breakthrough. And this often happens mentally too, emotionally. You'll be going through a breakdown and it's like, dude, I'm at my last stop. I'm at the bottom of the barrel. And as they say, when you've hit your lowest point, the only direction that you could go is up. I find that to be true most often than not. So hang in there and be patient. If you're not confined to a wheelchair and you're dealing with the same issues as myself, we're not in too much of a bad state. We just have to work hard and put in the work to rehab and retrain. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope it helps you. It definitely helped me, and I'm excited about documenting this. So I'm on day 46 on my journey. And we'll see you in the next progress video.